Hello, my name is Dulyalak Smanbut, a business development manager at COMARCH, and today we are going to dive into the topic Life Insurance in the Age of Omni-Access Revolution. I will talk with Dulyalak Smanbut, a business development manager at COMARCH, and with our esteemed guest, Ms. Yamin Groeninger from Boston Consulting Group. Welcome. Yamin, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
I'm Yamin, Managing Director and Partner based in Singapore for BCG. I'm also a co-member of the APAC insurance practice of BCG. I think in this context, it's more important to say I'm somebody who worked for insurance industry about almost 20 years across life and non-life. But also I'm someone who really cares about this industry with the great purpose of protecting our world and our people. So I want this industry to do well.
Great. And the first part of our discussion today will be about the Omnichannel strategy. Is Omnichannel with needs for human-to-human support just a slogan or a real needs of insurance customers?
A slogan, or in our industry we sometimes call that buzzword, is always based on real human needs. Why we actually invented a new word is to describe how it is. So the omnichannel, which means nothing else than integration between human and digital interactions, is something which is already happening in our daily life, not just for insurance clients, but also for all the other businesses.
I totally agree that human support is still in need and be a part of the customer journey. Can we conclude that physical channel will not become extinct like a dinosaur?
Of course not. In fact, human touch points are the real differentiating factor in the digital world. So with BCG, we actually did some studies. In Southeast Asia, we have 220 million active users of all the ecosystem online platforms who would have a natural needs in insurance world. But actually without human touch or personalized contact, the full dropout would be 99%. So all these people contacted, only 1% would be interested even to have a conversation. So the human touch is exactly where we can differentiate ourselves.
I can see that the human touch will play a significant role to differentiate and personalize the insurance offers. What does omnichannel mean?
Omnichannel, as we said, is actually a new invention to describe our today's world. It's not so much about how many channels we have between business and customers. It's rather about how integrated it is. And a good omnichannel experience meaning that we actually don't even feel switching between the channels as a customer. Just give you an example in the insurance world. The digital engagement is the first step. That's digital, right? And the second step would be a lead generation, which we use a personalized content, which actually has a human touch on it, but based on digital data insights. And then the third step would be appointment, which is offline, person to person. But how to make that personal interaction even more trustworthy. And the next step would be having that meeting and talk about your personal goals in the insurance context, and in the end to close that deal. So you see a lot of touch points are online or offline or actually combined. So this is what we mean by omnichannel without the customer even thinking about am I online or offline, which is basically happening in the background.
So now I understand omnichannel is not about the number of channels that you have, but the seamless it is more important. What are the challenges of omnichannel strategy for business?
I will raise two challenges. The first challenge is where do we apply omnichannel strategy, in which part of the value chain? Most of the insurance companies are using it for sales, but actually the moment of truth of insurance is after sales. So in the moment of we do a claims, or in the moment that we wanted to top up our policies, etc. And there is also where omnichannel strategy should be applied for service and not just for sales. That's number one. Number two is something we and BCG call iceberg principle. So omnichannel, obviously, we need to have a lot of investment into the data and technology, but as well as thinking about the people element. So the iceberg principle, meaning 10% of the challenge comes from the data and algorithm itself. So data management, privacy, and how to also leverage external with internal data. Second part is 20% is about technology stack. So how good are our technology infrastructure? Are the systems in silos or are they seamlessly integrated so that we can build a data lake around it? The third part is people and organization, like I said before. And are we able to make the adoption of the new technology and the new digital tools and also break the silos between the different functions so that people only think about the customer experience?
So in summary, there are two main challenges. First, where do we apply the omnichannel strategy? Secondly, how do you manage the challenge? For example, data, tech stack, and people. How do you ensure that an omnichannel strategy stay agile and adaptable to rapidly changing market trends and customer behavior?
I think the keywords are already in your question. Number one is customer centricity. Number two is rapidly changing. We need speed. Number three is agile. Actually, agile is the magic word. A lot of companies are already changing their ways of working to agile way. And in fact, BCG has supported a lot of insurance companies around the world to do agile and scale, which means to break the silos. So imagine today's insurance world is organized by function. IT and business are separate functions, and even within business, underwriting and claims and distribution are separate functions. So the way today's world works to adapt to customer needs is sequential. So I want to sell this product to this client segment, and let's think about how to do it. And then we get inputs from other functions. Maybe they say no, maybe they say yes, and then iterative. And then in the end, we build the IT system around it. But once the IT system is built, and maybe that need is already out of date. So the way Agile works is you organize the organization cross-functional. So already from day one, these people are sitting along the value chain, working together for one single customer problem. So quite some of the leading companies are already organizing themselves around the customer rather around the function. So the magic word is Agile.
Thank you, Yamin from Boston Consulting Group, to sharing a valuable insight with us today.
My pleasure.
From perspective of an experienced IT provider, what benefits can insurers gain when they face and overcome all these challenges?
Okay, thanks for the question. Transforming and moving from single channel to multiple channel, definitely a huge challenge for all insurers. However, I can see that eventually all insurers will get more benefit in the long term. For example, they will get higher customer satisfaction. Why is that? Because omnichannels allow them to serve both digitally savvy and non-digitally savvy. And as long as you can satisfy them, they tend to be more loyal to your company. And taking care of the positive customer experience will increase a chance for the policy extension as much as 80%. Also, with the omnichannel strategy, you can also improve your personalized insurance offer as well as claim process to your customer, which will help your company reducing costs by automate proportion of customer management. And last but not least, thanks to the smooth interaction between channels, you can also improve the quality of processing data, which also help your company manage your information more effectively. This is a couple quick wins that I can think of how insurers can gain benefit from omnichannel strategy.
By adopting a multi-channel strategy, insurers can improve their customer satisfaction, reduce costs, enhance data quality, and streamline their process. Can you give an example of successful transformation?
An example of a successful implementation of the omnichannel strategy is one of our implementation to AXA Assurance Luxembourg. The goal was to build a framework for a future-proof omnichannel customer strategy. And originally, our client expectation is first, to modernize their sales process, which at that time, it was very slow, complicated, and required switching between many tools. Secondly, with its legacy system, so it was impossible to adjust anything, especially when it comes to related with the new regulation at that time. So our client want a solution which flexible and time to market enough to make any changes. And last but not least, they want to cut down the unnecessary back office work process and also simplify the underwriting process as well. So after we learned their pain points and their expectation, we study and work together with AXA from the beginning to solve such problems. And finally, we implemented a fully configurable solution which offers customer-centric user experience, automated and optimized sales process, and of course, fully compliant. As a result, AXA gained a number of new customer insights and is able to adapt offer for a better penetration. And of course, less work for underwriter for 30% cases and less work for back office for 90%, which can turn to be done in the system instead. So this is one of our implementation that we did to our client in the omnichannel strategy.
A great example, AXA case shows how modernization and integration can improve efficiency and customer insights. Next, do you have any specific recommendation on successfully transforming a multi-access environment?
Based on our experience, we recommend many insurers to consider to build omnichannel environment into the following steps. First, you need to digitize your distributor portal in order to integrate lead management, need analysis, quotation, and unified view of customer across segments. Secondly, we recommend to digitize your client portal to build your self-service capabilities from quotation, payment, to policy issuance. Next, you need to develop the customer engagement model because omnichannels allow clients to engage with insurers from a different channels. So it is very important to make their engagement more effectively and smoothly. And then after we talk about distributor portal, client portal, customer engagement models. So next is time to think about back office process. As you may already know that the integration between front office and back office is very essential for a significant cost reduction to your company. And in my experience, most life insurers with legacy system, they are challenged and some are in pain with their system, which costs them so much in the long term. So next, you are going to zoom out and think about the whole process and whole picture. You need to digitize end-to-end processes, and this step requires insurers to integrate all amount of data across the system and improve form of analytics. You need to have an advanced analytic tools to expand business model and product offering, as well as risk pricing and product design. And here we are to the last step. The ultimate goal to build omnichannel is, first, you can fully integrate data between channels. Secondly, you can provide seamless customer experience and put the customer need at the center. And lastly, you can provide access to product and services through through all channels and touchpoints. These are some required steps that insurers need to consider if you want to build your own omnichannel strategy.
So, to successfully transform a multi-access environment, focus on digitizing portal, enhancing customer engagement, integrating system, and fully connecting all channels for seamless experience.